sir. Let's go. All right. Welcome to the K&A podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Checo, and I'm joined with.
Hi, I'm Kenny. How are you?
Let's start this, bro. Let's start this.
Alrighty.
How you doing?
Chilling, man. You know, the usual. Surviving. Posted. Cooling. And yourself?
I'm doing very well.
Alrighty.
Very, very well.
Let's get into what we are going to put out into the world. The message we want to let people know. The goal of this podcast and everything like that. I'll let you start it off.
Yeah, so this podcast is about growth, mindset, getting better every day. You know, this is something that we're both on the journey of, and I feel like everybody else is on the same journey. A lot of people just struggle on how to get there.
Or some people just don't know that other people are going through the same thing.
Exactly.
So, you could take anything away from this podcast. That's literally the goal. Whether that be something as simple as, having a habit of doing something. Whether that be going to the gym, running, drawing, whatever you want. Just do something to be productive and to push towards something that you actually want to do. So,
I bet we talk about how, our first podcast didn't go the way we thought it would be.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, we shot that and it was so beautiful. I thought it was great, and then the fucking footage got fucked up. But what can you do? Do another one.
Shit happens.
No.
So, we filmed our first episode. We thought it was pretty good. Went back, got the audio. It was great. The camera, they both stopped working after like 10 minutes.
You know what's crazy? It's super genuine, and the thing is, I don't even know if I want to repeat what was said in that one. Yeah. I feel like it would just sound scripted. We'll touch points on what we wanted to say, but wherever the conversation goes, it goes.
Yeah. So, what do you feel about where this podcast, where you want us to go?
Like I said last time, it doesn't really matter if it's like successful, if it blows up, it's whatever. Mostly it's just if someone could take away something from whichever episode, that's pretty much it. If you could just take one thing, we have 1,000 episodes, you could take away one thing from one episode, that's all that matters. Because the point of this whole thing is really to just inspire everybody, motivate you, give you a sense of direction, things like that. But, that's pretty much the whole point of this. We just want everyone to be better, This podcast isn't just for everyone else, it's for ourselves as well, just see our personal growth. That's just the things that we want to put out in the world and the type of energy we want to circulate ourselves with.
Because I want to look back a year from now, and everybody that watched our podcast and ourselves, we came up as the podcast grows. So that's definitely something I want to take away from it. We're going to have a lot of people on here, man. We're going to have a lot of variety of people on this podcast. We're going to have barbers, hairstylists, CEOs, truck drivers, ex-military, the whole nine. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, bro. And it's not just that, like entertainment-wise, music-wise, artistic-wise, anything like that. Even homeless people. I want to know how you got to that point, bro, for real.
You ain't bringing no homeless people through that, though.
I'm bringing a homeless person, and I'm not going to lie, we're going to give them a shower, probably like $100, but, I just want to see how they got to that point, because I feel like a lot of the times it's self-inflicted. So it's just interesting to see another person's perspective on that, especially if I feel like they don't blame themselves but people around them. It's kind of interesting to learn that mindset people have.
Yeah, and that's somebody said that I used to have too, because last year I used to look back and think that everything was on me and it was done to me instead of for me. And you gotta develop that mindset as you get older that listen, stuff is gonna happen, and you gotta take the bad and the good and turn it into something great.
No, for sure. But I don't know. I think it's definitely people just have a victim mentality, and they think that everything happens just to them. When in reality, it's just something that happens to everyone. Everyone just has a different way of interpreting it or just dealing with that type of situation. Whether that be like relationships, friendships, school, stuff like that. Like everybody deals with the same thing. It's just how you decide to react to this. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I had to build. Last year, I had to build an anchor to support what I wanted to do. So I had to be self accountable to myself and look myself in the mirror and be like, hey, you're so and so things, and one of those things was definitely like lazy. That's for sure. That's one of the things off the top of my head that speaks out to who I was before and who I'm trying to be now.
I think that's something I struggle with too, especially procrastination. Procrastinating. I'll fucking push shit back an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, few days, just so I could just fucking lay down and do nothing. And that's the thing. A lot of people just comfortable doing nothing, and then they complain about not having anything. So that's one thing. Like, people will be angry about their future. People will be sad about this, something that's in their control, and they'll just sit there and let that emotion swallow them up. Rather than, you want to be a barber? All right, go on YouTube, learn how to buy some clippers. You want to do this? Go and invest in yourself and actually do something that's gonna help you in the long run, instead of just sitting there and being angry about it. Some people just have like coping methods, which is not bad, but that's like a temporary fix. You're not really like doing anything to better yourself. I think that's just more of a like how you view things. Would you much rather just be upset or stressed out that you feel like you're not gonna do anything, or would you rather actually struggle with something that you actually want to do, and get comfortable with it, actually want to build something and actually care that your future is gonna happen, rather than just sit there and swallowing it.
Yep.
But
Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
of course, that's one of my favorite sayings. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations. That's not. Shout out LeBron James.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I had to develop that. Last year it was a good awakening call, because I feel like I started to figure out who I was, and it came through a lot of the bad, because you look at yourself in the mirror and you start to break yourself down, be accountable to yourself. The way I look at it now is everything is my fault. If something happens, it's on me.
No, literally.
So you got to take self-accountability for everything that happens. So
Yep.
you can't sit there and complain about it because it's your fault. At the end of the day, it's you versus yourself.
Yep.
So that's the only thing you can do.
You're your biggest critic. Everybody, even I struggle with this. Doing photography, I would compare myself to everybody else. And that's the worst thing you could do. Rather than, if I compared myself to when I first started, I'd fucking dream of being who I was right now. But instead of that, I compare myself to, all these other photographers that I know that my friends associate themselves with. I'll compare myself to niggas that have been doing this shit for years, And it's like, we're on two different paths, and that's what people don't understand. That's what social media has people thinking, that you're behind in life, when in reality, you're just on a different race, a different path.
Yeah. What do you think? So for me, last year I had to find an anchor to support what my laziness was. So I picked something that's easily accessible, and that's running. And every single day I go outside and I run, and I try to hit at least 4 miles a day. And then, if you can go further, then by all means. But what do you think your anchor is?
I think it's the gym, for sure. I think that I've given myself so many excuses before. I had a gym membership, I'm not gonna lie, for at least like 2 or 3 years. And I just started going consistently, like 3 days minimum, like a week. And I always would just go. I would only go if I was invited, actually. Like, if I did invite me, I would be like, I'll come, you know what I'm saying? If niggas invite me, like, oh, pull up to the gym, I'll go. But I would never go by myself, ever. It wasn't until recently that I started going by myself, if no one was able to go. Because it's like, I need to have some type of discipline in my life, or I feel like I won't have any order. So I think that, at the start of the new year, one of my goals was just going to the gym consistently. And I think I've been doing pretty good. I gotten sick a few times. That's held me back. But I've seen a lot more progress.
That's good. Yeah, I picked running because I'm lucky and blessed enough to have a reservoir not too far from where I live, where I could run, and it just never stops. So I can keep going for as long as I want, and that's what I like about running, because I feel like it signifies life in some way. Because you can start, but it's all about how you finish.
That running shit is no joke, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I thought a mile was light, bro. I could not do that shit ever.
Bro, we had a bet. Me and Kenny had a bet. So it was, yo, if you could do a mile, then you don't have to do the cold plunge. We got to about, what was it, .50, and he was like, yo, bro, I need a break, bro. I need a break.
Nah, but like it was the hill, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If I started without the hill, I think I would have made it. I think I would have made at least minimum like 0.75. But that hill just fucked me up. Cause like if you saw how that shit is steep.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like y'all in risk of having an avalanche if it snowed a little too much, bro. Like that shit is steep as fuck, and I don't even know how cars was parked up there.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking wicked. But like I don't know, that running shit is no joke. But the point of it is that just pick up something that you feel like you can dedicate yourself to. So like even you picking up books now is like another thing that you added on to running.
Yeah, because I like books that hold. I like to hear other people's story, and I feel like that's what reading books drove me to this. So, I fascinated by people's stories. I understand, like I want to know what makes people like go the extra mile. What makes them tick? Like, what's your goals? What is your ambitions that you're so driven by it that nothing can get in your way? Like, what is your why?
Okay. And what are some books you read already so far?
I've read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. That was one of the most powerful books I've ever read because grew up the way he grew up, and then to be who he is now is insane.
Nah, I could imagine. Even just hearing it, like, off the Joe Rogan podcast, like, shit is insane. Like, hell weeks, going through the military and whatnot. Him being fat and
On broken feet too.
on
Like,
broken feet, and he did it 3 times. 3 times that. And what was the graduating class he did that last one? I think it was like 100-something people and only like 15.
yeah, only like 15 or 13 people graduated or something.
That's
like
fucking insane. But even then, like, I can't consume that type of media, and it's just I don't know what it is. I literally cannot. It's just too much, and I think it's just my attention span when it comes to that. Like I'm heavy on reading more manga than it is like that type of genre. Like if you don't know what manga is, it's just you know, a Japanese comic essentially. Like I just finished Slam Dunk. It's about basketball. Simplest shit ever. But it's like this nigga got out of middle school and he's like a thug. Like niggas is scared of him. Like he's fucking like 6'2", a freshman in Japan, and it's like everybody else is like mad short and shit. He finds this girl he likes, and then he ends up joining the basketball team for like reasons that people shouldn't join it because he fucking sucks and he's never played that shit. And over time, he's like practicing and whatnot, and he actually realized he really likes that shit. And I just think the message behind it is like very powerful because even after everything, even in the last game where he played his all out and they won by like 1 point, he ended up having an injury, and his team didn't even go to the fucking nationals regardless. Like, and him just being just being so trash and just doing shit for alternative reasons, and then coming to realize he really loves the game of basketball and actually find something he's passionate about. I don't know. That's something that stuck with me at least. Just the fictional story of just a guy developing and just a simple game of basketball is something that would stick to me more than reading about David Goggins, for example. And that's no hate to him, but it's just an example. People consuming media and still receiving the same message through different means. You don't necessarily need to go out and read a book, or you don't need to necessarily go out and run or go to the gym, but just have something that will lead you down a path of success. You know, and just interpretation and perspective on things is really powerful depending on the person.
Yeah, because everybody's anchor is different, and what most people gravitate towards is like exercise in the gym because it's like if you have a strong body, you have a strong mind. So, regardless of what it is, whether it's reading book, whether it's running, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's just doing anything, as long as you can find something to support what you want to do, you'll make it regardless of
No,
what
for
it is.
sure. And it's just, you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Just
Find your own path.
Literally. Like, everyone's on a different race. Everyone's on a different path. Everyone's at different levels in life. And it's like, yeah, some might have started earlier. Like, don't get me wrong. There's fucking 16-year-olds making beds right now. Like, 500 like a year. And, you know, there's 23-year-olds that are still making minimum wage. It's really just people on different paths in life. And we don't even know if these 16-year-olds are gonna stay. Like, this is like generational wealth.
Yeah.
Like, niggas could very well blow that shit on a random ass fucking Hellcat for some reason, or a M5 Comp in Midnight Purple.
Yeah, that is Kenny's dream car.
Nah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Anybody give me an M5 Comp in Midnight Purple exactly how I wanted it, bro, it's done. White bucket seats.
White bucket seats is crazy.
White bucket seats, Midnight Purple. Yeah, and I'll do the rest.
I can never get a car with white seats.
Nah.
That is insane.
I'm gonna take care of the fuck out. Ain't nobody eating my car, nigga. Ain't nobody eating my car.
You can't even have like, you can't do nothing in your car but drive. That's it.
Fuck it. What else am I use it for? What else am I use my car for?
I don't know.
Exactly. And that's just the goal, bro. That's just that's not even the finish line.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a step in the path. Like, eventually, like, I'm gonna have that shit for how many times I said it. Like, I might just get a regular M5. It's gonna get wrapped, and then it's gonna be Midnight Purple, and then that's a goal done. That's one done.
Yeah.
And then a crib, and then a family, and then whatever comes down the path, or whichever one comes first.
What goal are you striving for now? Like that car is in the future, and that's good because you're thinking 5 steps ahead. So what are you thinking about for your first step?
Honestly, bro, right now it's just more or less moving to where the money is taking me. I don't have a specific plan. I feel like once you set a plan, that's where people get stressed out. That's where people begin to think about, like, damn, if this plan don't work for my future, then what? So I'm more or less moving with what the energy around me is giving me. So whether that be, like, I even thought of getting the CDL soon. So, for example, that's something I plan on getting sometime later this year. Whether that be, like, beginning of summer, anywhere around there. I don't necessarily have all the pieces right now. I still think that there's a lot of planning going on. So I'm not entirely 1,000% sure what I'm going to do to reach these goals. All I know is that I'm going to keep working for whatever God has given me right now and just push forward and just, have faith that whatever I'm doing right now is going to work towards whatever I got in the future. But now I want to ask you that same question.
Yeah. So my goal right now is to finish school, bro. I'm in college. I'm in Queens College, and I'm in my 3rd year. And the past couple years, I've been slacking, failing classes, letting people down, letting my parents down, because they pay hard-earned money for me to go to school. But last year, something flipped the switch in me where I was like, okay, it's go time. Like, it's over. Like, I know what I need to do, and it's just a matter of getting there. And the other day, when we were at work, we work at Starbucks, by the way. I'm a barista. He's my supervisor. And what's so funny?
Nothing.
What's so funny?
Nothing.
You want to tell the camera?
No.
Oh, okay. What's so funny?
Nothing, bro. Come on, bro.
Nah, but what is so funny?
Nah, it's just random.
What's random?
This is random. I'm a barista. He's my supervisor.
Okay. I was just giving a little background, but it's all good.
Yeah.
When you reach a certain amount of years in Starbucks, they send you like a pamphlet. And I had gotten a pamphlet saying, like, thank you for 3 years. And it's like, damn, bro. Like, I look back at the time and I don't regret it, but I look back and I go, okay, that's who I was. This is who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a part of the process. Once I finish, I'm going to go to trade school. Mm-hmm. I'm going to study electricity, to be an electrician. I'm going to make it a goal of mine to be one of the best electricians for myself, not against other people. I don't care about whether or not you believe you're better than me. As long as I think I'm the best, it's over. And my long-term goal is to maybe one day, hold a company of employees that all work with me and not for me. I want you to do your best as well as my best. And I looked at that pamphlet and I go, okay, 3 years, cool. Use that to motivate you. Even though I don't believe in motivation, there are certain things that you can hold on to that sometimes it'll give you a little bit of push. So
just some fuel, just to
yeah,
keep it going.
Yeah. So I wasn't angry But I definitely looked at it and I was like, okay, I gave 3 years to this company. I'm gonna do the same thing for myself now. So it's putting myself first, doing everything that I pick up, do it to the very best of my ability. I'm not in competition with you. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm in competition with myself, and that's all I'm focused on, and bringing people up with me too. So if this podcast does something for other people, and it inspires you, that's all I care about.
Right, and the great thing is that at least you have a plan. There's people out there that stress themselves about not having a plan, and
Yeah.
I think that's the leading cause of people being like angry
Lost.
at themselves and lost. Yeah, it's like you don't even necessarily have the answers now. You know what I'm saying? Some people have plans and some don't work out. Some people don't have plans and they end up having a great life. It's really just taking with what you got and just do something with that.
Yeah.
Like to this day, like I don't even like I have my degree in criminal justice. I thought I was gonna go and do another 2 years in law school or go to the police academy as soon as I got out. None of that ended up happening. I ended up losing interest in all that. It's just do what you can with what you have instead of being angry about what you don't have. I think that's where a lot of people will stress out about their future and whatnot.
What's driving you to get your CDL?
I don't know. My dad, he has it, and he lives very comfortably with it.
What does he do?
He also does truck driving. He delivers produce to different markets and whatnot. And it's not necessarily something that I want to do. It's more or less a thing that would be a for sure goal. It would be a for sure set in life. I would for surely be okay. I'd for surely be comfortable, considering the lifestyle that he has and the things that he's able to do. I would live good. It's an option, and that's the thing. That's what people don't get. People definitely have options that they don't want to do, but if push comes to shove, then you got to just take the path that God has created for you. There are people that do stray away from that and they find their own goals, they find their own lives, they find their own like little things that they can get done. But it's just an option that I have there, and I wouldn't want to give up that option. I wouldn't want to wait too long and then I end up having exactly. And the thing is, I don't live with regret.
What's crazy is that one of the guests that we want to have on, his name is Andy, and he's a good friend of mine, and he owns a trucking company. So he has a CDL, and I remember seeing him, all the hours that he used to put in. I would see it through Instagram, so I would see like him go from place to place and be out on the road for like 12, 18 hours, and I would definitely love to have him on because he would provide a lot of insight into what he does and how that's going to correlate with you for sure.
I mean, and even like as someone that does like barbering, for example, like that's the thing. Like there's so many different people that we have coming on here, or plan to have coming on here, that their stories just resonate with you, even if you're not in that type of field. Like I could connect with someone that's fucking ex-military, for example, and relate to the type of life he had, even though I've never been in the military or I never lived in the lifestyle that he has. It's just take the themes and the the story that they have and just morph it around and just change your perspective on how you view life, because you never know what someone else is going through. And that's the thing.
Because life is all, at least for me, life is about pulling from other people, and you learn different things from other people's scenarios, and you can use that in your life. Like my dad, he started out carpentry, so he would do flooring and all that stuff, and he honed that craft when he got here. So he knew that lacking in education, he would have to work. So he came here and he got to work, and he honed his craft. He learned how to do flooring. He learned how to do construction. He learned how to do electricity. He knows everything, and a lot of that was self-taught because he just knew that to get a leg up on everybody else that's already here, he would have to do what other people don't want to do. So he's a very well-rounded guy, and definitely one of my biggest motivators and biggest inspirations is life to be bigger than my dad, which is already hard because he built such a great pedestal, just like your dad. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like they set the standard, and it's up to us to just keep moving forward. I feel
And
like that's something that you have to do.
and that's just coming from nothing.
Yeah.
Like both of our parents came from nothing, and it's hard to like want to give that step up when you started with something. And that's the thing, like entitled people don't understand. Like they just think that they deserve everything, when in reality everything is earned. Respect is earned, wealth is earned, you know. Just being handed something, I feel like a lot of people don't learn from it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just handed like a business, I'm not gonna learn how to run that business, especially starting from the top. Like even just being at Starbucks, like you understand that. Like you see people getting outside hires that come into the company and just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like this could go deeper, even in like big corporations, companies, stuff like that. Like you really have to understand the structure of what you're doing to really be able to manage it. And I think that's where your dad is doing amazingly in, because he started from the bottom. He didn't always have what he had, and he just started working for that. Same thing with my dad. He didn't always have what he had, but he was grinding, like waking up 12 in the morning, coming back home 12 in the afternoon, going to sleep and going right back to work. You know, it's just, I think that immigrant grind is different. You know what I'm saying? Like they just come thinking that it's the American dream, and they just work hard for that American dream.
Yeah.
They got a family already. They got to provide. Like they have no other option.
Yeah.
It has to work. You know.
Yeah.
And
They
that's
come
just,
here and they're like, we have to win.
yep. They have to win, and that's just something that some people don't have that drive. They don't have that drive because everything is just handed to them. Especially now, like nobody wants to go to work.
Yeah.
Everybody has like a small fucking encounter with a customer or a boss, and everyone just wants to quit.
Yeah.
It's like, it sucks for them now, but it's like, what else are you doing now?
Mm-hmm.
What else are you doing for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, it's different if you have, I feel like if you have something that you're putting your full time into and you're going 100% in, and then there's stuff that is like you don't care about the job that you have, and then you go home and you don't really do much.
Yep.
So it's like you still gotta have something. Like if you're not taking your job serious, okay, but if you have something that when you go home that you're doing that you hope will turn into like your primary job and your primary income, then that's a little different. But I feel like you definitely have to work hard in all aspects, regardless of what it is.
Yep. And it's like, you have to work harder than the next person. You have to be different to the next person. I don't think it's too hard to be unique in a world where everyone else is doing the same thing that someone else is doing. You know?
Facts.
Everybody's doing the same shit. Everybody's screaming in their streams. Everybody's doing the same vlogs, 20v1s, blind dates in a fucking car. Everyone's inviting rappers and shit just to just get a little bit of clout. It's like everybody's doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to be. I'm gonna say it again. It's not hard to be different in a place where everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just finding something that you're good at. And it's not hard. Everybody has a secret talent.
Yeah. Everybody has a gift. We're all born with a
Literally.
gift.
And it's just, how are you gonna take advantage of that?
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of times I feel like some people lose their gifts. Like they lose what their gift is, and I feel like that's what happens to me. Like I feel like I always understood that I wanted to help and help people, but somewhere along the way, around like maybe high school, that wasn't cool. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you
the
sound like a dick rider.
negative is like the cool thing.
Mhm.
Like being the bad guy is the cool thing, and it's like that wasn't me, but I was trying to be that, and that's not who I was. So then, when I left high school and I started figuring out who I was, it wasn't until now, and it took me like 3 years to understand that I just want to help. Like I want to help in any way that I possibly can, and that gives me tremendous drive.
And that's the thing, bro. People don't want to see you helping people.
Yeah,
Like, you can't even support your own friends without people being like, damn, this nigga dick rotted. Like, bro, I got to the point where even in high school, I was fucking brainwashed into being like, yo, bro, that's a tough ass fit. I'm not dick rotting though. Like, I didn't have to throw that last line in. Like, I'm giving you a genuine compliment.
yeah,
But like, it's just, people are so brainwashed and they think just supporting people is just fucking fan behavior. Like, bro, like that's my man's. Like, I support his art, I support his music, I support his brand. Like, there's nothing wrong with being on your friend's team.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're fucking in Drake's comments telling him happy birthday and your man's birthday just passed and you wouldn't even say nothing to him, you look like a dick rider because that nigga don't even know you.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. You know, it's just I would want to spread positivity around me before I go and tell a random person that I'm actually a fan of who doesn't know who I exist before I give them my support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. I definitely love to give people their flowers. I love to, highlight when somebody's doing a great job. Because a lot of times people need that because they feel like they're not even supported in what they do. So you never know. Just being kind, goes a long way.
Literally, bro. Literally, it'd be the smallest of things, bro. Like being at Starbucks, I hate being there. I'm not gonna lie, but it has its good and its bad. Like you get to meet a lot of people. You get to touch a lot of people and learn people's stories, even just in a few minutes of just talking to them. Like even just yesterday, like I just gave this random person a bigger size drink than what they ordered, and they ended up telling me like, what's crazy? Like today's actually my birthday. I haven't been having a good day and I really appreciate it. And even just little stuff like that, like you never know like what a little gesture could really do to somebody.
Yeah.
Like some people just need that little bit of positivity in their life or in their day or whatever just to get through it. And you never know when people are going through. Because people could just put a smile on their face and you wouldn't know.
Yeah. It's a big problem now. I feel like everybody's mood is kind of low nowadays. And not everybody, but it's like there's a few negative people out there that just bring down all the positivity that's trying to be uplifted now.
There's people that live their life fucking angry at the world.
Yo.
Angry at the world.
Like the other day when that girl came into the store, bro. Oh my god.
What girl?
The girl that was came up to you that she was that the dude was sleeping in the corner.
Oh my god. Oh.
All right. Technical difficulties. Anyway, would you like to go on and continue your story?
So, I clock in no more than like 10 minutes. And there's this guy sleeping. So I'm like, sometimes when there's homeless people, I'll be like, I get it. I feel bad sometimes, so I let them chill for a little bit. But this customer comes in screaming. She goes, I kid you not, walks up to me, goes, excuse me, this is unsanitary, and I need him gone. I need the police called now. And I'm looking around like, why you need the police called? So she goes, that man is sleeping, and he smells. I need him gone. Call the police. I don't care. So I'm like, I can't kick him out for just sleeping. Most I could do is wake him up, and that's it. Just because you want to sit there doesn't mean I have to kick him out. So I go up to the guy. I'm like, yo, boss, I can't have you sleeping in here. I told him, like, I don't want to have to kick you out because I really don't. Like, I've seen him a bunch of times. A lot of times he just be chilling there.
Yeah,
but
he don't be bothering nobody.
He don't be bothering nobody. Like, I can't kick anybody out unless they're, like, actually causing a disturbance.
Yeah.
And all he was doing was just sleeping. So I wake him up. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, yo, you need, like, water, like, anything? Like, I got you. Like, he goes, nah, I'm good. So I'm paying attention to him to see if he falls asleep again because, this lady ends up getting her stuff or whatever, and then she sits somewhere else. And then she has her back face to me. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm on the register now. And I don't know if you heard her, but she goes, he's sleeping again. He's sleeping again.
Bro, she came up, like, every 5 minutes and was like, he's sleeping again. He's sleeping again. I'm like, bro.
And at the end, she ended up leaving regardless. But, like, at that point, I couldn't really have him sleeping there because, like, other people did want to sit there. So now I'm like, yo, boss, I'm sorry. Like, I can't have you sleeping here. I'm going to have to ask you to go. He ends up freaking going to a corner, and I don't see him for, like, 20 minutes. And you bring up the point that he's sleeping again. I'm like, oh, my God, bro. So I kick him out, and I feel bad or whatever. He comes back later and with some other dude. I don't know. But the point of the story is that I was extremely mad. And I fucking said that I hated her, which now I really don't care. Like, it was just in the moment. And I realized that after me and you had a conversation, you were just like, she probably got her own thing going on.
Yeah.
And To me, it's like I do view that a lot of times, but I don't see it in the moment.
Yeah.
I'll see it afterwards. Like, I went home and I was like, yeah, she probably just got her own thing going on. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way like a normal person's just gonna do that,
Yeah,
and for like no reason.
Yeah.
There
'Cause
has to-
nobody that's how do I say this? Like nobody that's like doesn't have their own demons in some way is gonna say that. Like they're gonna be like, oh whatever, like I'm just here to get coffee and that. But it's like people that have that kind of thing going on, it's like that's their problem.
They just have their own like issues
they
going
have their
on,
own little
and now it's just they were projecting. And then she had me over her fucking fork. What the fuck? She had me over her fork because her wrist hurt.
Yo.
Yeah, Starbucks is a funny place to work at, man. One of these fucking podcasts, I'm gonna do just stories on just Starbucks fucking horror stories.
We can go like an hour.
I can
just
make like
doing that.
5 episodes on that shit, bro. But it's just, it's just the way you view those situations and how you plan to like your takeaway from them, essentially. Like, how would you better yourself and how would you better deal with that type of situation? I think I dealt with it pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you
What-
can't really do much else.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Like,
it's like, what you gonna do? But yeah, let's wrap it up here. What you think? How you think this podcast went, bro? How you think this episode was?
I think it's a good second introduction.
Facts.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like the first one, but I feel like we touched around the same points. We came across the same ideas and whatnot. Probably brought up some new things.
Yeah.
Can't beat the original,
Yeah.
of course, but what can you do?
This second episode, we were definitely a little bit more comfortable,
Nah, for sure.
flowing a
Yeah,
little better.
for sure.
And yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the future, bro? What we got going on for next episodes, future episodes?
Next episode, honestly, we want to talk about the mindset, different types of mindsets you should have going into the future, going into any type of situation, mindsets of just wanting to be a better version of yourself that you already are.
Facts.
After that, probably have some guests on here, like you said before, all types of backgrounds, all types of people, all types of, everything. It's really just wanting to touch base with everybody in the world. Like, there's going to be something out there for everybody.
Yeah. So with that being said, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom. We're going to put all our links for our social media pages on the bottom. Please hit the subscribe button, like this video if you liked it. And there's more to come, baby. There's more to come.
See you later!
We're just getting started.